everybody, it's Wednesday. Happy hump day. So I am here today for my Shimelles Sketches Reimagined video series. This is the sketch we're going to be working on today. I have two amazing guest designers joining me, Moira O'Reilly and Crystal Barrett, who is Pineapple Papers on YouTube, and I will leave links to both their videos below because we all got our videos done crazy early this week for obvious reasons. So here's our sketch. I am going to be working on these two photos, which are graduation photos or my son's cap and gown photos when he graduated in June. And so those are the photos I'm going to be working on. Now, where my head went with this particular layout might be a little bit off, but this is where it started. So I really want the title to be this, which I hope you can see it from here. And this is from Paige Evans' Truly Grateful. So I want this Make Your Own Magic. So if it's in Cooper, we're saying hello. Anyway, this Make Your Own Magic. I really want that to be the title of my page, right? And there is some blue elements in here, but I thought, well, I'll pull in some other colors as well. So I have a plan that this little strip here is going to be a lot of these lovely branding strips from Truly Grateful. And then this part, I have this cool idea to take some acetate and these sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps. These are the Ocean of Color sequins, and make myself a bit of a shaker pocket. So we'll see how that goes. That is my plan going forward, and then we'll go from there, and I'll put you on fast forward and we'll just play, see what we get. Be sure to head over and check out Crystal and Moira's videos and their projects because I'm sure they're beautiful. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to start by cutting this fusible acetate. These are 12 by 12 sheets. They're called fusibles. They're a little bit thicker than a thin acetate. They're really thick. They feel kind of plasticky. They almost feel like Project Life, like a page protector. They're awesome. I love them. I got them at a cherry on top, and I'll leave the link for them below because I've never seen them anywhere else. And this shaker element on my layout turned out so nice. So what I did was around 3 edges on the side of my page, I put some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. I pushed it down. It dried completely clear. Now, if you did this on a pattern paper or another kind of colored cardstock, I'm not sure if it would be as invisible as it was on the white cardstock, but it was, you can't even tell. So I glued along 3 edges, and then I used my finger and I really pushed and sealed, filled in any spots I felt like there wasn't enough glue, and then I let it dry completely. So now I'm just shoving the sequins in. I used an entire pack of sequins. This is the Colors of the Ocean, I think is the name of the mix. Ocean of Color is the name of the mix. It's one of the new March releases at Spiegelmom Scraps, so you can grab some of those if you are interested. They're still in stock. Jody's on vacation, so nothing is shipping till the end of March, so you have some time to kind of build up a really nice cart and then check out. So I'm kind of making sure everything's really sealed along the 3 edges. Now for the 4th edge, because I know I'm going to cover this up, I'm going to use some double-sided adhesive tape, which does show through the clear adhesive, but it is really, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it shows through. I lost my word for a second because I'm going to cover up that whole section anyway. But I put it there and I thought it would make a nice, like really good, sturdy seal. And plus, this is going to sound terrible, but I have more double-sided tape than I have Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, so I decided to go ahead and use that for the 4th side. And this worked. That shaker element worked perfectly. I love that 12 by 12 fusibles, those plastic sheets. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and map my photos, and I did cut my photos down. They're 4x6s, and I cut them down to 3.5x5. When I developed them, initially I thought, well, there's a lot, the way the photographer took them, there's a lot of like white or empty space above the top, and I thought it'd be cool to do like a little cluster or something on the photo, but when I got to actually creating with them, I decided that because of the title being such a dark blue, that I would just put a nice mat around my photo and then go ahead and cut the photos down a little bit. And then I can place my title up above the photos, and it can really contrast and pop off of the white cardstock. Okay, so I'm also using my circle punch, super simple, just a circle punch, to go ahead and punch a whole bunch of circles. I'm going to use these circles to create some beautiful clustering, well, maybe not beautiful, but clustering on my page, and I'm just using the rest of that leftover 4x6 or 6x8 photo, the little scrap that I had left over after I matted my photos. So here are all of the branding strips. So this is Paige Evans' Truly Grateful collection. I trimmed every branding strip I had off of all of the different pattern papers. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is, right now I'm kind of looking at the patterns, and I am breaking up the ones that are like have a background color versus ones that have a white background. I'm going to ink them all with gray ink. That's just going to smooth the edges out a little bit so they don't look so cut. And then I'm going to take 1/8 inch double-sided score tape. So this is 1/8 inch, which means it's going to not cover the entire back of the branding strips. I'm just putting the tape at the very edge. I'm going to leave that about a little more than half of it completely open and free. And I'm going to go ahead and add the branding strip here to this little open spot. And again, I'm using score tape because it was just easy. Easy, easy, easy. You could use any kind of tape that you want. You could even do, just your tape runner. But what you want is you want a lip. So you don't want the entire branding strip to be glued down. You want an edge that is free. And using that 1/8 inch score tape just worked perfectly. So what I'm going to do here is, you can see why. So I have the score tape. I put the branding strip down. Now I'm taking my finger and I'm pulling up that edge. And I'm pulling it up pretty high. Like I'm actually almost kind of folding that paper up. And then I'm going to take the next branding strip. Here I'm kind of losing my stuff. There it is. And I'm going to do the same thing. So branding strip is about 1/4 inch wide, and I'm using 1/8 inch score tape. So it's kind of giving me like half. So next up, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add this 1/8 inch score tape just across the one edge of the branding strip. I'm going to go ahead and pull the backer paper off of that. And then I'm going to tuck it down in underneath the branding strip before, and then pull it up. And I'm going to just keep doing that over and over again until I have all those branding strips adhered down. And now I'm going to use a bunch of foam tape because I really, like I said, I almost like folded those papers up. So they have a really lot of texture. I'm going to use these Doris foam strips, and that's going to help me. I'm going to put some on like either side of my picture so it will sit up and even across all the texture from the branding strips. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this yet, but this is my favorite layout. This is my favorite layout that I've made this week so far. I love how this turned out. It turned out so pretty, like just so perfect. So I'm using that beautiful title from the Paige Evans Truly Grateful thicker sheet. And yeah, I really, really, really love how this layout turned out. Like, I want to play more with this fusible product. I want to make more layouts like this. I hope they're, I really, really like how this turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and add that thicker area for my title. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get those circles. So these are the circles with the same pattern paper. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of make some clusters. I'm going to put 3 areas of circles. And these are actually going to be the base for my embellishment cluster. So I'm going to layer things up on top of these 3 little areas here. I'm making sure that the circles look like they're kind of floating, but also that they aren't up against an edge, because I really want your eye to be able to move around the photos and kind of have them enclosed to the photos. So I inked up the edges using the gray Hickory Smoke Distress ink. Again, the reason I'm inking the edges is just to give the edges a softer look so that they are not so harsh and sharp. I'm going to start looking through all of these embellishments. I'm going to pull all of the pretty blue things I possibly can. There is a lot, actually. There's a lot of blue. I'm also going to take these Scrap and Happy Studio epoxy flares. I got these, their 2019 graduation epoxy flares, and I've kind of been using them, 1 or 2 on all of Morgan's graduation photos, at least 1. And so I want to go ahead and add those to the little circles. And then epoxy flares, they just go down with tape runner. They stick beautifully. You don't need to, no wet glue. I definitely use double-sided tape or tape runner on them. I also went ahead and pulled out just a couple of graduation themed stickers. So I didn't want this layout to be super themey, but I did want a couple just little touches of graduation supplies. And when we got these pictures done, I'm sorry if you can hear, my Doxy is having a wrestling match with his sister right now. And they keep coming in the room and then running out of the room again. So if you can hear them, they're fine. They're just playing. They're getting their exercise in for the day. But they insist that they can't stay out of the room I'm in. Anyway, but they are having fun, I promise. In fact, if you watched my video from last night, Tuesday night, the little golden puppy in that video, that's the one that Fitz is playing with. Okay, so I am just adding some little bits and pieces from the Truly Grateful, that puffy sticker sheet, and then I'm also adding in a couple of stickers from the graduation. So I was talking about my graduation supplies. When my son graduated, I did not buy a ton of themed paper. I bought a couple sheets of themed paper. I bought these epoxy flare, and then I bought a 6x12 sticker sheet, and I decided that I was just going to mix and match those elements with regular kind of collections from my stash, because I'm not a themey scrapbooker. I like the idea of little touches of things, not full on theme. So these are the rest of the sequins. This is the tiny little bit of sequins I had left over from the from that pack of sequins, and I'm just going to pull a little bit of color through. So we have all the color, we have the different colors in the sequins, we have the different colors in those branding strips, and I just want to add little pops of the brighter colors into my clusters. Not a ton, just a little bit. And I think it worked out perfectly. And like I said, I think this layout is just perfection. I love it. And I don't often feel that way about a lot of my layouts. I'm my own worst critic. So if I say I really, really like something, that's, I'm so happy with how this turned out. Okay, that's going to complete this layout and this episode of Shimelles Sketches Reimagined. Be sure to check out Moira and Crystal's videos and have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're all hanging in there. I'm thinking about you all, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye!